Hey, it's Jennifer here, and I wanted to do this short video for you to share this analogy with you about how grief and our emotions that we experience after loss can be kind of like a boiling, steaming kettle on the stove with the spout blocked and no way for that steam to get out. So if you can imagine, you may not have had this, you may not have actually seen this happen before, but if you can just imagine a kettle on the stovetop and the heat is turned up high and the water is boiling. And typically there's a spout at the top and it has a little hole so the steam can get out and escape. And when it gets really hot, the steam comes just shooting out the top of the spout. But if you can imagine there was no hole in that spout, that kettle would eventually explode and there would be hot boiling water everywhere. And if you were standing nearby, you'd probably get burnt. And that's kind of like how we feel sometimes when we've had some kind of loss in our life and we have no way of figuring out what are the emotions and what are we feeling on the inside. And when we have no way, if we don't know how to let those emotions and those feelings out in effective ways. So how that can show up, when I say, like, if you're standing by an exploding kettle with hot water, you get burnt. And that's sometimes how it can be very painful in life when we have no way of getting those emotions out. So it might show up in unhealthy habits, things like wanting to eat unhealthy food. Maybe it's junk food. It's like you just feel like you have no way of knowing how to deal with those emotions that are boiling up inside. So it's like you just want to have that quick release of making you feel better and numbing that pain that's of the emotions that are boiling up inside. So you may feel like eating maybe ice cream or junk food or whatever that is for you. That may happen for you. Maybe you feel like you want to watch more video games, or you want to numb out with watching, YouTube or TV or Netflix. All kinds of different ways we can kind of develop these unhealthy habits as a way of trying to numb and soothe the boiling emotions that are on inside with us. Another thing that can happen is that just like that boiling hot water can be very painful, sometimes we can actually take those emotions out on people that are closest to us in our lives. And that can show up with, unkind behavior at school, at home, with our family and our friends. And, we might kind of take out how we feel inside. If we're not feeling good inside, sometimes we can, want to hurt the people that are closest to us because we just don't know what to do with all that boiling of emotion on the inside. And so I'm going to help you go through a process that's going to help you kind of understand and get clear with what are some of the things that might have happened that are making those emotions feel boiling on the inside. And then I'm going to show you how to be able to release those emotions and feelings in an effective way so that we can put that hole back in the spout of the kettle so that eventually the steam can come out. We can turn down the heat, and then we can, pour a nice cup of hot water in a cup and make a nice cup of tea and sit back and relax. And that will be the experience. If you go through this process I'm going to help you go through, is going to feel like sitting down in your most comfiest chair with a nice cup of relaxing tea instead of this boiling out of control kettle on the stove. So I hope this helps, and I look forward to helping you through the next step and the next process of being able to discover what's having the boiling going on the inside.